Candace.
And we're the Disruptors.
Hey, welcome to the show, Bill.
I don't want to be here.
Hey, we have Chris now. Remember, we were going to redo the...
Well, you were going to redo it, and now I'm not getting to do it.
Oh,
so I'm Chris.
Is that correct? You're not getting to do it? Does that not tell you something? Doesn't something in the back of your mind say, they cut me off every show?
Who pays the bills?
Well, it's not me because I don't live here, but go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been waiting for my check in the mail, by the way, and the mailman says nothing.
Hey, I've been waiting for my proceeds from the podcast.
Oh, yeah. I
want my 50%.
I'm going to have to send
like
the armored car over here.
Oh, no, it's not 50% anymore.
Oh, no. Now what happened?
Well, she gets 50, I get 50, so...
Okay.
Thanks for coming, Bill.
It was a great time, yeah, sure. Stick out your left hand and take a look at it, and she'll stick out her left hand, and you guys will have 50-50.
That's how we kind of roll.
Yeah.
Well, I want to introduce, because we have amazing individuals here today in the studio. And
besides me.
You're always amazing. Our listeners know you're amazing, Bill.
Okay.
There's no competition here.
None
it's not the One-Upper Club.
No, go right ahead.
So, thank you. I appreciate that. So, what I would like to do is introduce to you Pastor Kelly Crow and Matt the Great. And they have an amazing outreach in our community. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Yeah, well, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And the name of your outreach, your ministry?
It's called Praise Hallelujah Ministries.
Praise Hallelujah Ministries. Hey, that sounds like fun. It put a smile on Bill's face.
Just got to say it really fast. Praise Hallelujah.
Praise Hallelujah.
Praise Hallelujah. Yeah. What got you motivated to get into, and how did you build what you're doing today?
I went through a ministry like Praise Hallelujah about 13 years ago. I was out just doing drugs, running amok for about 10 years, and I was down in Kent, and there were some guys handing out sandwiches to people that were hungry, and they told me about a place over in White Center at the time that you could get your life changed around and get up on the rock of Jesus Christ. And they told me that I was got to get up early in the morning and study the Word and go to class and go out and do things. But they told me there was a shower there and some food and a bed, and that sounded pretty good because I'd been up for about 10 days. And
wow.
And in my mind, I was just going to, even though I told them I was going to come, I was only going to stay for a couple days so I could get some sleep and a shower.
Sure.
And some food because I was dirty.
You good, out of the weather.
Went back to that place and I ended up staying there about 3 years. Fell in love with the Lord, and it was crazy. I started liking people, wanting to change their lives.
Oh, wow.
And so I stayed there and went to become associate pastor, and I got a shepherd's heart, wanting to change lives and get people off the streets. And I grew up in Des Moines, Washington, and I ran amok there for about 10 years, just doing things to make a Billy go get sick. And I went back to Des Moines. That's where we're at now. We opened up Praise Hallelujah about 10 years ago, and we got about 98 guys and about 30 women that come in and make a commitment and get up early in the morning and at 6 a.m. and get their beds made, which can be hard for them because some are used to getting up at 4 p.m.
Sure, absolutely.
I would...
there's a lot of stuff to be done.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Amen to that.
So they're getting in the Word, and they're going to classes and doing homework, and they go out and serve in the community, and they're getting a foundation built up on the rock of Jesus Christ and becoming a mighty man and a mighty woman of God and returning back home, wherever that would be, with honors and integrity and being honest and parents are getting restored in their lives and kids are getting restored in their lives and they're going back with keys to houses and they're getting full-time jobs. And
so you experienced that, I can tell.
Yeah.
What kind of culture is on the street?
You got people that are depressed, suicidal. They got pills for everything that they'll give you. You can say your left pinky's hurting, and they got a pill for that. They get labeled, a lot of labels and stuff, and we bring them in, and we want to get them off of the psych meds and stuff. So we don't just throw them in the garbage, but we work with the doctors and because they're not that. That's not how they were born. You know what I mean? Sure. And walk them through that. And so we take anybody in. We don't care. They just can't do drugs and alcohol and that's what they're trying to get off of. You know,
Right.
They're in the program, and there's a lot of accountability and going on, and the worst thing that's happening to them is they're getting better
So that makes a big
and
difference.
they're
of
gaining
course.
weight.
Uh-oh. Gaining
Because they're
weight
really
on top of
skinny
that.
when they
Oh,
come
my
in.
goodness.
You bet.
Oh.
You bet.
Now, you mentioned that you put them through classes. What types of classes are you getting them?
Well, we're 110% Jesus or faith based, so we have classes Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Different teachers and pastors, besides myself, coming in and teach out the Old Testament only. And then they also have homework that they do every day. They read 2 chapters out of the Bible, and they have to write a life application, a summary on it, because reading, writing, hear the words was going to wash over them and change them from the inside out. And then they have memorization they need to get done, because we want them to get new tools. We want to get a God toolbox, bring scriptures up. You know what I mean, when they come up against things, and so they do that, and then they go out and serve in the community during the day, because part of their work therapy is a lot of them are street smart, but
Sure.
they need to learn how to be work smart. Use our volunteers to unload trucks, maybe mow lawns, paint houses, and to do construction cleanup, because they're excited to use them because they're not on drugs and they're fired up and they get the work done twice as fast. Amen. Mm-hmm. And then they help support us. And then after 90 days, if the guys and girls in the program, they get all their memorization done and it's time for them, and they think that they're ready, and we think they're ready because we have one-on-one with them, counsel with them, walk them through things. We cry with them, we hug them, we laugh. You know what I mean? Because that's what happens when you're reading the Word and you're in the program like that. You're changing from the inside out. It's almost like going through puberty again.
You
Amen.
bet.
Your new identity. You know what I'm saying? You're coming alive. You're made to laugh and cry. Amen. Those are lies the world tells you. Hey, a guy's not supposed to lie because you're a sissy la la. You know what I mean? And a girl says, you want me to give you something to cry about? What you crying for? And you're supposed to do all that. You know what I mean?
You bet.
And your feelings, your smell comes back, and you get eyes, you can see things. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so then after 90 days, we show them how to get a full-time job. We help them with resume and look at money in a good way. Because for me, I used to look at $60 and all I saw was 6 rocks of cocaine. Mm-hmm. That's how messed up my brain was. And then we walked them through that, and then they get to start working and transition them back out to the world with new habits.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that sometimes what people don't understand, and that is that our nonprofits, which I absolutely hate that title because you have to be profitable in order to expand and grow. But really that structure of business, so to speak, it really is nonprofits, the 501c3s, which they've changed all the tax codes, right? So now we've got up until I think 10 or 11 now.
Right.
It's very confusing. But not to go on that tangent.
Yeah, that's a different subject.
Yeah. Right. Tax.
Anything
Tax
that has to
reform
do with the IRS, we don't
Yeah,
have. This is a family show.
But the bottom line is that our nonprofits of our communities actually are in the business of taking on our social issues. And because sometimes we'll get asked, why are you bringing community activities on the show? And it's like, it's very simple. It's all business. Yeah. You know, you've got, in a sense, the job of cleaning up our society. Yeah. And
because a lot of times the guys and girls that come in the program, it's almost like they've already been through a 30-day treatment center, which cost them thousands and thousands of dollars. And I'll just use me for example. So I went through 5 30-day ones. Wow. And my mom spent half of her retirement what the insurance didn't cover. Actually, the insurance company said on the 3rd one, we're done. Amen. Right. And so she spent her money, and what happens is by the time they come to us, which they should have done in the first place, because 30 days ain't long enough. All that does is make you look good on the outside, and you're still a hollowed out pumpkin on the inside. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Right. And so they usually are kind of a tuck and roll and hit the door. What was that? Huh, Matt? What's that? I've done that. Matt, was there somebody knocking on the door? Here's Johnny. Hey. And Mom's driving off because she's tired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so they get that. So they come in with hardly nothing, and we just love the hell out of them. We don't get any help from the government because we're 110% all about Jesus. And so you know what I mean? So we're kind of like their spiritual mom. But, you know, after the 30-day blackout period, and because good news travels just as well as bad news, they're watching. See, they don't need to call their parents anymore. The parents don't need to call. They're just watching to see if this is real. And so it's a 6 month. And actually, a lot of the guys and girls stay longer than that. That's just and then pretty soon God's restoring that. It's a beautiful thing.
So, Matt, how are you doing in the program? I mean, what have you found has been the thing that props you up the most?
I went through the program last year, did about 9 months, went to work, did the whole I got paid and relapsed thing.
Sure.
I think a lot of our issues are handling money on top of the drug addiction, obviously, but having been a drug addict for so long, you don't know how to handle money or your expenses. So you, like he said, you just look at it like that $60 is 5 crack rocks type of thinking. So I went through that whole phase, and then I relapsed and came back to the program. And one thing that I've found that helps me stay clean and sober is serving. Serving, saving lives, and our program is really in the trenches. You know, we're taking people out of Tent City and right off the side of the road and downtown Seattle, and basically whenever anybody wants to come in or get fed, we're pretty much on the spot when the phone rings. So that has made a huge difference in my life, I guess. Leading up to this, I would have never, 3 years ago, I'd be like, you want me to wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning and go get... No. You're crazy, you know? So it's been a combination for myself of, you know, Jesus and the power that he gives you, the strength that you get through that, to do what you need to do to help save lives and in the reality, save my life.
When you went in, Matt, the first time that you got involved with this program, I want to just step back a little bit. Was it easy for you to be accepted with what they're doing now because they're on your level? In other words, they experience, they know from the heart where you've been and how they can exceed and help you and extend their hand out to you?
For myself, I wasn't Christian when I got into the program, so it was really it was a culture shock for me.
Okay.
I walked into the church the first night, and they were all standing into this church called New Walk that we used to have, and they were all like this, you know, just worshiping, and I'm looking around like, oh my gosh, what did I just get myself into? Like, this is woo! It's getting hot in here. I think I gotta go, you know. And then you have 40 or 50 grown men trying to hug you, and you're like, whoa, man. And I love you, and there's just there's a culture shock, and going back to kind of it's secular, but you go to NA and they say one day at a time type of thing,
right?
In my life and in my walk and what I try to give other guys, if I can push that one more day, you're one more day further in changing your behavior and getting closer to your goal of getting back into society the right way, right? So
Absolutely.
that one day is all you've got, and that's what matters. And if you pray and keep your armor on, you're good to go.
Absolutely.
You'll make it through that day.
Well, tomorrow's gone. You can't get it back. Yesterday is gone. You can't get it back.
Wow, I was worried there for a minute. Abuse.
Tomorrow, you're not guaranteed tomorrow. So you're right. You only do have one day to do what you need to do.
There's nothing you can do about yesterday.
No.
But you can, all that's out there, anybody listening, you know, that blowing it, you know what I mean? We were talking about that before we went on live air. There's nothing you can do about the past, but you can sure heck make one great ending.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And what you're saying, asking him, you know, so I've been on both sides, so I can relate to them guys, and of course, you know, because I've been on the streets and I've been tore up, and so I think that's what is kind of unique about us is that my wife and I, Shawanda, she's done prison a couple times, and she's been. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
So we can work.
You guys are a beautiful couple,
So
by the way. You
we're,
complement each other really, really well.
Yeah.